Hello viewers, welcome to another episode of knowledge sharing. Before I continue, like us, like and follow our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, comments and share our video for more interesting topics. Today we are looking at this topic and its quadratic equation. So we are going to see how we can solve quadratic equation by different methods. So here, quadratic equation is in the form ax to the power of 2 plus bx plus c equals to 0. And we ask ourselves why quadratic equation always equals to 0. It can be equals to something. Here can be equals to 30. But so doing, 30, if you transpose 30 into this side, for example, we have ax to the power of 2 plus bx plus c equals to 30. So here we need to transpose 30 into this other side. So this will become ax to the power of 2 plus bx plus c minus 30 equals to 30 minus 30. You can see that here we still have ax to the power of 2 plus bx plus c minus 30 equals to 0, because this will cancel this. So we still have this other side equals to 0. That is what makes it a quadratic equation. So here we can see that we'll be able to see how this other side equals to 0. In this equation, or from this equation, a cannot be equals to 0 for quadratic equation. A here, the value of a cannot be equals to 0, because when a equals to 0, we have 0 times x to the power of 2 plus bx plus c equals to 0. You know, 0 times here will be 0. So here will be bx plus c equals to 0. So this is not a quadratic equation. That's why we say that a can never be equals to 0. So, but in the other way, b can be equal to 0 or c can be equal to 0. We still have a value of quadratic equation, or we still have the equation in the form of quadratic equation when b or c equals to 0. So from here, let us see a situation where b and c equals to 0. So here will be ax to the power of 2 plus 0 times x plus 0 equals to 0. Therefore, here will become ax to the power of 2 plus 0. This is 0 plus 0 will be equals to 0. So here, ax to the power of 2 will be equals to 0. And let's see another way where our c alone equals to 0. When c alone equals to 0, we have ax to the power of 2 plus bx plus 0 equals to 0. Therefore, we have ax to the power of 2 plus bx equals to 0. We can see that here c is not there because it is equal to 0. We look another form where none of them equals to 0, where we have ax to the power of 2 plus bx plus c equals to 0. So here, if we clean this, we can see that you have number 1, we have number 2, and we have number 3. This form is what we call quadratic monomial. So this is quadratic monomial. Then this second one is quadratic binomial. So this is quadratic binomial. So this third one is quadratic trinomial. So this is what we have. This is quadratic monomial, and this is quadratic binomial, and this is quadratic trinomial. So we are going to see different forms of this quadratic equation and how we can solve them through factorization method. So in this situation, we have a quadratic equation by factorization method. Quadratic equation by factorization method. That's what we are looking at. So let's clean this. We know that this is a quadratic equation, and we all know that a can never be equal to 0. That is the rule. A can never be equal to 0. So let us see, number 1, the equation, how we can solve it, or when we have quadratic monomial. Let's see, when we have x to the power of 2 minus 4 equals to 0. So we have this equation. Let us see how we can solve this by factorization. So we can write this as x to the power of 2 minus 2 to the power of 2 equals to 0, because we all know that 4 equals to 2 times 2, which is equals to 2 to the power of 2. That is why we have this. So from here, you know that this is different of 2 squared. This is in the form a to the power of 2 minus b to the power of 2, which is equals to a minus b all into a plus b. This is the solution of difference of 2 squared. So we are going to represent this in this format. So we have here x to the power of 2 minus 2 to the power of 2 is the same thing as x, because this is our a and this is our b. It's going to be x minus 2 into x plus 2. So we have this. This is x minus 2 into x plus 2 equals to 0. So when we have a situation like this, it is in the form a times b equals to 0. That means any of these, it is either a or b equals to 0. When we have 0 times b, is the same thing as 0 when a is 0. And when we have a times 0 equals to 0, because a times 0 is 0 when b equals to 0. So what this means is it is either a or b, or two of them will be equals to 0. So from this equation, it is either the first parenthesis equals to 0 or the second parenthesis equals to 0. So let us set one after the other. So we have x minus 2 equals to 0, or we have x plus 2 equals to 0. So from this first one, we have x equals to, when minus 2 transpose into this other side, it becomes 2. Or we have x, when 2 transpose into this other side, it becomes minus 2. So the value of our x equals to 2 or minus 2. So this is the solution of this equation that we've given. So let us look at another form of equation where we have 2x to the power of 2 equals to 32. So from here, we can see that we can transpose 32 into this other side through factorization, because we are going to use factorization method to find the value of x. So transposing 32 to this other side, we have 2x to the power of 2 minus 32 equals to 0. So from here, you can see that we have 2 here, we have 32, and we can factor it out. So we have 2 into x, because 2x to the power of 2 divided by 2 will give us x to the power of 2. So we have minus 32 divided by 2 will give us minus 16, all equals to 0. So the same thing that we did here, it is either two of them equals to 0, or the first one equals to 0, or the second one equals to 0. So when we set 2 equals to 0, or we have x to the power of 2 minus 16 equals to 0, this one is cancelled. So we are now left with x to the power of 2 minus 16 equals to 0. How do we do this? This is in the form x to the power of 2 minus 4 to the power of 2 equals to 0. And from here, from this illustration that we had, so we are going to represent this in this format. So this will become x minus 4 into x plus 4 all equals to 0. So we have two parentheses. We all know that it is either the first one equals to 0 or the second one equals to 0. So we said x minus 4 equals to 0, or x plus 4 equals to 0. So here we have here x, when minus 4 transpose into this other side, we have it as 4. And here, or we have x, when plus 4 transpose into this other side, we have as minus 4. Therefore, our value of x equals to 4, or we have minus 4. So this is the value of x that satisfies this equation. So let us see the next form of quadratic equation that we are going to solve by factorization method. So we clean this. So we are going to look at x to the power of 2 minus x equals to 0. So from here, let us see how we can use factorization method to solve this. So here, we can see that our value of c here is 0. That is why we have this. So here, we can factor it out. So we have x into, when x to the power of 2 divided by x will give us x. Then minus x divided by x will give us minus 1, all equals to 0. So we still have two parentheses here. It is either the first one equals to 0 or the second one equals to 0. So the first one, which is x, equals to 0, or we have x minus 1 equals to 0. So from here, the first value of x equals to 0. So the second value of x, which is x minus 1 equals to 0. We transpose minus 1 to this other side. So we have x equals to 1. So the value of our x equals to 0 or 1. So these are the value of x that satisfy this equation. Let us look at the next one, that when we have our x to the power of 2 plus x minus 6 equals to 0. So this is our quadratic equation. This is trinomial quadratic equation where we have all the values available. None of them equals to 0. So in this case, we are going to use factorization method for us to find the value of x. How do we do that? We need to multiply minus 6 by x to the power of 2. That will give us minus 6x to the power of 2. From here, let us see minus 6x times x. If you multiply these together, it will give you this. But when you add, it will not give you this. Let us see minus x times 6x. If you multiply these two, it will give you this. But when you add, it will not give you this. Let us look at minus 3x times 2x. When you multiply these two, it will give you this. And when you add this, it will not give you this. And let us see 3x times minus 2x. When you multiply these two, it will give you this. And when you add, you see that when you add 3x minus 2x, it will give you x. So this is the factors of 6x to the power of 2 that we are going to use for us to find the value of x from this equation. So substituting that, we have x to the power of 2 plus 3x here minus 2x. So in the place of this x, we put this. Then we have minus 6 equals to 0. So we have this. We can factor it out. We can look at this and this. X is common. So we use x to factor it out. So this will give us x into, when we divide x to the power of 2 divided by x will give us x. Then we have plus 3x. Plus 3x divided by x will give us plus 3. Then here we have 2x and 6. 2 is common between two of them. So we use 2 to factor it out. So we have minus 2 into, when we divide this by this, will give us x. Then we have divide minus 6 divided by minus 2 will give us plus 3, all equals to 0. So from here, you can see that these parentheses, they are common. So we can use that to factor it out. So we have x plus 3 into, when we divide the whole of here by this, will give us x. And when we divide the whole of here by this, it will give us minus 2, all equals to 0. So we have two parentheses here. As we used to say, it is either the first one equals to 0 or the second one equals to 0. Let's set one after the other. So we have x plus 3 equals to 0, or we have x minus 2 equals to 0. So from here we have x equals to, when 3 transpose into this other side, we have minus 3, or we have x, when minus 2 transpose into this other side, we have 2. So the value of our x equals to minus 3 or 2. So these are the value of x that we have that satisfy this equation. Let us look at the last one for us to see how we can solve this quadratic equation by factorization method. So we clean this. So the last one that we are going to look is 6x to the power of 2 minus 13x plus 5 equals to 0. So from this equation, you can see that the value of our a from this quadratic formula equals to 6. The other one that we've been working with, all of them were equals to 1. So from here, let us see how we can use factorization method to solve this quadratic equation. This is trinomial quadratic equation. So from here, we are going to multiply 5 times 6x to the power of 2, which is equals to 30x to the power of 2. Later, I don't want to waste much of our time. We are going to look for two factors of 30x to the power of 2 that when we add or subtract will give us minus 13x. So this will give us minus 3x minus 10x. When we multiply this, it will give us this. When we subtract this or add, it will give us this. So we are going to substitute this with this. So we have 6x to the power of 2. Instead of 13x, we have minus 3x minus 13x. That represents 13x. Plus 5 equals to 0. If you can look at these two values, you can see that 6x to the power of 2 minus 3x is common to each of them. So we use that to factor it out. So we have 3x. When we divide 6x to the power of 2 all over 3x. It will give us 2x. Then we divide minus 3x divided by 3x will give us minus 1. So from this other side, we can see that we have minus 10x and plus 5. So here, we can see that minus 5 is common between two of them. So we use minus 5. Dividing minus 10x by minus 5 will give us 2x. Then divide 5 by minus 5 will give us minus 1. All equals to 0. From here, if you look at these two parentheses, they are common. So we can use that to factor it out. So we have 2x minus 1. Then when we divide 3x into 2x minus 1 by 2x minus 1, it will give us 3x. So when we divide the whole of here by here, will give us minus 5. So this is what we have, all equals to 0. We have two parentheses here. It is either the first one equals to 0 or the second one equals to 0. So we take one after the other. We have 2x minus 1 equals to 0, or we have 3x minus 5 equals to 0. So from here, we have that 2x, when minus 1 transpose into this other side, becomes equals to 1. So from here, we can divide both sides by 2. Here divide by 2 and here divide by 2. 2 cancel here 1 and 2 cancel here 1. Therefore, x equals to 1 all over 2. This is the value of x that we have. So the second one, where we have 3x minus 5 equals to 0. Therefore, 3x, when minus 5 transpose into the other side, it becomes 5. And we can divide both sides by 3. So here divide by 3 and here divide by 3. 3 cancel here 1 and 3 cancel here 1. Therefore, we have x equals to 5 all over 3. 5 will divide by 3 will give us 1. So remainder 2. So we have 2 all over 3. So this is the value of x. The two value of x, which is x equals to 1 all over 2, or we have 1, 2 all over 3. So these are the value of x that satisfy quadratic trinomial equation. If you like what we are doing here, follow us on our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, comments, and share video for more interesting topics. Thank you.